So, sorry, I just brought up your pictures again. We have been working on our folklore unit. So it's been a pretty cool experience so far. We've been exposed to different types of folklore. We went over the different types last week, which were folk tales, myths, fairy tales, fables, and tall tales. So all of you have been assigned for assignment number one. You've been put into a different group, and you each studied one of these different folklore stories. Now, I think a lot of you were kind of confused about the sequence chart because I got a ton of people. Just going to show you what I'm talking about. I got a ton of people trying to fill this one out, this blank example, and requesting access to it. You were already shared a sequence chart that was for your group. So let me just show you what I mean. Okay, so you can see all the different names here: Briar Rabbit, Johnny Appleseed, Paul Bunyan, the Bear Prince, and the Rooster and the Pearl. These were the sequence charts that I shared with you, and these were the ones that you were supposed to fill out. If you were confused and you were trying to fill out this blank sequence chart, then it wasn't working for you. And I think that's what some of the kids were doing. But never fear, today that's totally fine. Today we can share our thoughts orally if you will type onto this. Okay, so give me just a second here. I'm going to mute a couple people who I think might have the background noise. Okay. All right, sounds good. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at where we were assigned and which different folk tales we'll be going over today. So today we do not have anybody here for Paul Bunyan. I wish Josh would have joined us because that was his particular story. The Rooster and the Pearl, we have Jordan and Nicholas, so we can look at that in just a minute. Johnny Appleseed was Autumn, Jacob, and Lucas, and that looks like it. So we can just kind of look at Briar Rabbit and the Bear Prince at the end, although none of you were assigned to it. Okay, let's back up just a second before we start presenting. And let's take a look at some of these essential questions. I posted these questions to kind of give you a purpose for doing this assignment. So I'm going to honor one of our 6th grade students who actually took these questions and tried to answer them for us. So that's where we're going to start today, and then we'll go into our presentations. Okay. So his name is TJ, and some of you have, met him or been in a group with him before. But we can definitely add to TJ's thoughts today. But I just wanted to start with these essential questions. Number one, I asked you, how does a folklore represent the diversity of a society? Diversity, if you don't know what that word means the differences in a society. So, how does folklore represent all of the differences in a society? And TJ's thought was folklores can connect people because all the kinds of people can relate. So, I'm going to kind of change that to make it sound a little better. All different types of people can relate. Are there any other thoughts that we want to add to our essential question number one? And this is something that I have shared with all of you, so you all of you have it in your Google Docs, and you can always come back and add your thoughts later. And I'm able to tell who's typed on here. It tells me who it is. So let's see. Okay. And number two, oh good, Jacob's on there right now. See, I can see Jacob's name. So it's kind of cool. Google Docs can really work out because I can tell who's doing what. Jacob asked a question too. He doesn't know where to paste his Wordle. That's another thing that we can get to where I can just have you guys individually show your screens if you just pull it up on your own computer. Because a lot of people, like I said, did not get into the right sequence chart. All right, number 2, how are oral traditions tied to folklore? So oral traditions. That means orally, that means just telling the story, not writing it down. So folklores are told from one generation to another for many years, and this is an oral tradition. Okay, so I'm going to add to that thought. Traditions are passed on through many generations. Okay. All right, so this is just a little background knowledge for you, why we're doing what we're doing. How does the folklore from other countries relate to themes from our country? And TJ wrote, I think a folklore from another country relates to themes from our country because usually folklores teach people about some kind of moral. So people have the same morals and they can relate to everyone. That's a really good thought. So in one country, some of the things that we value in society are valued in other societies as well. Um, so, morals and the way things are and why they are kind of universal. And number 4, how is ancestry? That means where you're from, like your old relatives. How is ancestry linked to folklore? And TJ wrote, I'm part Scottish, so my ancestors would tell me folklore, so he probably meant folklore stories, from Scotland. So he can be linked to his ancestry. So TJ, he might not have ever been to Scotland, but he knows something about his ancestry through these stories. And number 5, what is the purpose or what purpose does folklore serve to a community? The community is served by teaching the morals and lessons from the folklore tales, I'm going to say, folklore stories. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you, some of our essential questions, and you can go back to this at your own time and add your thoughts when you have a little bit more time to think and type right onto this. Does that make sense? I'm not going to assign it as a you have to do it, but sometimes maybe one of these questions really jumped out to you and you wanted to share something. Maybe you can answer just one question. Nicholas, go ahead. I think your microphone's on.
Uh, well, like question number 5, I think it's uh, to teach things before we could write them down and teach them like in a textbook or something.
Yeah, I'm going to add that for you so people can be taught lessons and morals before they have to read them in a textbook or something. Good. Very good. So it's much more interesting to learn kind of what's right or wrong in a society by listening to a story than having to read in a textbook. That's very true. Okay. Alrighty, so going back to our assignment, we can go ahead and let's see. Let's start with maybe that's not where I wanted to go. Sorry. We had a lot of kids from this group in the Johnny Appleseed story. So this was the sequence chart that I shared with all of you. So it looks like Jacob was able to get onto the correct part. That's pretty cool. See, it's pretty easy for me to see who's been on here. That's kind of how I know who's participated in that. But anyway, that's beside the point. So, Jacob, I'm going to go ahead and read your sequence chart for the class. All right, so we had to list the events in order and then write a summary. So did you write a summary, Jacob? If not, we're going to do that together. Let's see. Yeah, okay. All right, so first in Johnny Appleseed, he was a hillbilly hermit who wandered the forest and walked barefoot with a sack filled with apple seeds on his back. He knew the woods more than anyone, and the Indians respected him because he was brave and had courage. Next, when the war began, the Indians allied with British and attacked by Ohio's territory. Johnny Appleseed was the Paul Revere warning, um, probably to Ohio, that there was danger coming. And then Johnny Appleseed ran 26 miles through the forest to Mount Vernon to help the settlers. On his way, he warned other settlers of the danger by blowing an old powder horn. 26 miles. That seems like it's a marathon. A lot of people run 26 miles and they call it a marathon. Yeah. And then last, aid reached the town within a day, and the settlers were spared thanks to the bravery of Johnny Appleseed. So this is kind of an interesting story because we think of Johnny Appleseed as the person who went all around the Midwest and planted a bunch of apple trees. But it seems like he might have done something a little bit more important. What was the most important thing that Johnny Appleseed did? Go ahead, Nicholas.
I think it was warning the settlers with the horn because they didn't die.
That's right. I think this little section right here was probably the most important thing that Johnny Appleseed did is that he ran 26 miles and he blew this powder horn to warn the American settlers that there was a British attack coming. Okay. All right. Very cool, Jacob. Good work on that. Who else was assigned to this group? Okay, so Autumn and Lucas. So Autumn and Lucas, I'm going to have you help us write this group summary.
Okay.
All right. So we all know that the first thing that you need on a group summary, or any kind of summary, I should say, is a topic sentence. Any kind of topic sentence stick out in your mind? Anything that you would like to start off with?
I can't find this Google Docs. Which one is it?
It's called Johnny Appleseed. You could see the title of it right here.
Okay.
And you all know where to get your Google Docs, right? I hope
Yeah,
so.
okay.
In your email, for instance, if you go to, sometimes it's called Docs and sometimes it's called Drive. Either way, Docs or Drive, that's where you find all of these things that I share. Okay. All right. So sorry, let's go back to Johnny Appleseed. Topic sentence. How can I start this off? So we need just a general opening sentence, something to catch the reader's attention, but not give too much away yet. That's what a topic sentence does. I don't know why it's not letting me type on here, guys. This is really strange. I keep clicking, and it's not letting me. Go ahead, Autumn. Share your thought.
Um, oh, sorry. I was thinking like Johnny Appleseed was a barefooted hermit hillbilly who carried a um a sack of apple seeds on his back.
Very good. And Lucas is actually on the dock right now and typing that. So Johnny Appleseed was a hermit hillbilly. Look at this collaboration. I love it. It was a hermit. MIT. Yep. Oh, see, I'm messing you up right there. I'm jumping in. There you go, Lucas. You got it. Hillbilly. I did that one for you. Um, Johnny Appleseed was a hermit hillbilly who carried a sack. I'm just going faster for you. Of apple seeds on his back. Very good. Okay, so basically we told who Johnny Appleseed was. We didn't give too much away yet. This is perfect. So, Johnny Appleseed Group, I want you to leave this tab open on your computer screen because you guys will, after we are done today, you guys will go back and finish this group summary. How many sentences does a good paragraph have? Nicholas?
5.
Yeah, I would say anywhere between 4 to 6 sentences is all that you need, okay? All right. So we have 4 to 6 sentences. We have a topic sentence, which we just wrote together. We have details, and then what is the last thing in a good paragraph? Go ahead, Autumn.
And conclusion.
Yeah, a conclusion sentence. Perfect. A conclusion sentence does not give any new details, and it just kind of ends the story. Just ends it. So this will not take you guys long at all. I can see that all of you have been able to find it now, and that's really cool. So let's jump into, let's see, Autumn. I'm not Autumn. Jordan and Nicholas, which one of the stories were you again?
I was the rooster and the pearl.
Okay, and that's what Jordan was as well. So let's go there. Okay. So this is pretty cool. I can see that Jordan has been on here. Nicholas, it doesn't look like you've been on here. TJ's been on here, and Kendall. Very cool. So Nicholas, you are aware of where to find this, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, because you're going to be adding to it. But Nicholas, in the meantime, I'm going to let you read what happens first in this particular folktale.
Okay. Just the first paragraph, the
Yeah.
thing that's labeled first.
Yep.
Okay. Rooster went around the yard looking for food. He gobbled down a piece of barley corn. Rooster stretched his neck up high and stretched his wings in delight.
Good. All right. What happened next, Nicholas?
Next, he shook all his feathers and strutted to the far side of the yard. His his eyes were alert for more good food. He was searching for any barley corn that the other chickens overlooked.
Okay. All right. So far we have this chicken. He's eating some barley and corn. He's strutting around the yard. Then,
He saw something glimmering. He dug out a very large pink pearl. He stared at the pearl, first with his right eye, then with his left. The pearl was so hard Rooster could not break it open with his beak.
okay. And what happened last?
The pearl rolled a few inches away and landed by a piece of barley corn. The rooster pounced on the corn and licked on the pink pearl. Rooster eyed the pearl and pecked it again, and it didn't break open. He's disgusted. Rooster preferred corn over the pearl.
All right. So, what did we learn from this story? That basically this rooster, he was presented with a beautiful, glimmering pink pearl, but he learned in the long run that pearl wasn't going to help him out much. Having the riches and gold and that kind of stuff isn't going to help him out. What did he really need?
Food.
Yeah, he really needed the barley and the corn. He shouldn't be wasting his time doing what?
Trying to open the pearl.
Right, exactly. So it kind of teaches the lesson that, don't be chasing after riches and things that aren't going to help you. You need to focus your attention on the things that you need. All right, so this is cool. We have somebody, oops, sorry, been a little fast there. Somebody who has added to this. Jordan, was this you?
Some of it was.
Some of it. Good. So you and TJ, it looks like, really collaborated on this. This is great. Jordan, can you read the group summary?
Yep. The moral of this story is that things are precious to someone and is worthless to others. The rooster in this story did not know what to do with the pink pearl. He could not eat it. The rooster just wanted to find more barley corn to eat, and the pink pearl kind of got in his way. What is the true value of the pearl?
Ooh, I like that. I like how we ended it with a question. We don't usually do that when we write summaries, but it works here. You can't do it in every single paragraph. It just wouldn't work out, but it works here. This is good. So, what is the true value of the pearl? Nothing to the rooster.
Nothing.
Yeah, to the rooster, it means really nothing. I mean, he could have 1,000 pearls, and it's still going to mean nothing to him. So I like this. The moral of the story is that some things are precious to someone and worthless to others. So one man's trash is another man's treasure. Have you ever heard that? Yeah, okay. All right, let's take a look at some of these pictures. Very cool. And oh, look at the Wordles. Very nice. Jacob, we will go back to your Wordle as well. I totally forgot to show your Wordle. But have it up on your screen, Jacob, and we will be able to share your screen in a minute. Oh, check this out. Okay, so look at the important words that they chose. Feathers, pink, pearl, precious. Ooh, I like that verb, strutted. Fable and a barley and barley. I like this Wordle too. It's very to the point. Peck, rooster, chickens, corn, pearl. Corn, pink, barley, pearl, rooster. Very cool. So this was our, this group really went above and beyond and found some really cool graphics to add. Very nice. Okay, so Nicholas, this was your group assignment. So in order to get a little bit of credit, I want you, and I'll be able to tell because remember I can click on this and it tells me who's been on and what they've done. So I'm going to have you, when we are done with this, I want you to add something to this, Nicholas, whether it is a Wordle, whether you add a couple more sentences to the group summary, just something, okay?
Yeah. The Wordle. How do you paste in the Wordle?
Jordan, what did you find was the easiest way for you to get a Wordle onto this document?
Well, actually, I have this downloaded thing, on my computer. It's called Snippet,
Oh,
and that's how I got it.
mm. Okay. Lucas, what about you?
I don't really know how to do the Wordle thing. It's when I try to do it, it says you need to plug in and get work and all kinds of stuff is saying on there.
Oh, you
I think
must
I'll
have.
just take a screenshot of it and then paste it in and adjust it into a right place.
Yes, taking a screenshot I think is one of the easiest ways. To take a screenshot, guys, you hold down Shift Command 4. Okay, and do you see when I hold down Shift Command 4, I get this little thing that looks kind of like a camera. And then you
It's
drag,
like a scope.
yeah. So you drag it over whatever it is you're taking a picture of.
I have a Windows computer actually.
Oh, so it's a
It
little
would
different.
probably be Control Shift for them.
Plus, it says that I have to plug in this thing for it to work.
Well, a plugin probably means you actually have some downloads that need to be updated. Um, We'll have to worry about that later. Here's another way. If you go to insert, you could go to image, okay?
Yeah, you can do your screenshot.
Yeah, and you can upload or you can drag your image right onto the document. So you can take a snapshot if you want. You can upload it if you've already saved it to your desktop, or you can even paste in. So this might be a good option for you, Nick. Sorry, Lucas, is to paste in the URL. That's the website where you have had that Wordle. Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
but I probably have to plug it in or something.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not quite sure what that means. Yeah, but there's a lot of different ways, and I know it works with Windows as well. So, all right. So that was really cool. So those were the only two. Sorry, I'm trying to click back here. Ah, those were the only two things that our group was assigned. So going back to our website here. Um, did any of you take a minute and just go back and read these other ones just for fun? No? Okay, well, I mean, you didn't have to, but I was just wondering if maybe you did. They're short, so maybe if you have a couple minutes, you can go back and read a couple different ones because we only shared two in our group. But what I want to do now is take you to your next assignment, which is due next Monday. All right, so this is an individual assignment. So, oh, good, Jordan, you just read half of Paul Bunyan. That's cool. Um, your group assignment for number one, some of you are going to finish that up today. But assignment number two and assignment number three are individual. So let's go over it. Number one, you're going to research another folk tale, fable, tall tale, myth, legend, or fairy tale using this resource. I'm going to take you to it in just a second. Pick one that interests you, but please do not choose any of the ghost stories. The ghost stories, they just don't fit into the folklore like we're studying right now, okay? So choose either a folk tale, fable, tall tale, myth or legend, or fairy tale. Those are your choices. You're going to create a Wordle again. So, worst case scenario, we'll just have to share our screens if you can't figure out how to insert it into a Google Doc. And you will present it to the class next week. So, you're going to give us a very short summary of the story. So, if I were you, this is what I would do. I would go to my Google Docs,
Wait,
create a Google Doc. Okay.
wait, do you mean we're going to create a summary and the Wordle, or just the Wordle as a
Um,
summary?
I would like both. I would like both.
Okay.
So let's just say that the name of yours is I'm just Paul Bunyan. I mean, we've already looked at Paul Bunyan um, as a class, but whatever. So then you're going to insert your Wordle, and then you're going to add your summary, and we will share those together. Yes, Lucas.
When I did the Wordle, it didn't it didn't even show the Wordle that I made.
Oh, I know what you need. You need Java.
Java?
So you need
Yeah,
some kind of updates to your computer, Lucas. So
Oh,
yeah, we're
so
gonna
just
have
push
to.
plug in?
that's happened to me before.
Oh, so just push plug in
Like,
and then,
you can't create the Wordle because it says you need a special plugin. I think you need Java.
oh, okay. I guess I'll push plug in when I
Yeah,
get into it.
yeah. Get to that and push plug in, and I'm sure it will update your computer. That's probably all you need is a Java update. It's easy to
Oh, okay.
install. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. So let's look at this website where you're going to choose. You have a lot of different choices. So when I clicked on that link, it's going to take us to American folklore. And take a look, guys. There's fables and fairy tales, folk tales, myths and legends. Let's probably skip nursery rhymes. Tall tales. And so those are your your choices. If you really want to look at legends, I would go for myths and legends. So let's just, I don't know, let's click on this first one. There's a ton. So go through, you can kind of browse the short summary, see how they give you a short summary of all of them, and pick one that looks interesting to you. Oh, look, there's the rooster and the pearl. Okay, so those are some choices. Also, if you want to come down here and pick like, I don't know, let's just say you have Latin America roots or something. Maybe you want to look at some Latin America type of folk tales. That's fine too. Let's just stay away from the ghost stories because it's just a different type of genre. Okay, and we're not going there. So that's all you'll do for assignment number 2. It's pretty short and sweet. It's very similar to what you just did in assignment number 1, but the difference is it's individual. So you all get to choose your own this time instead of being assigned to one. All right, so Jacob, do you have, and you could type yes or no into the chat, do you have your Wordle up on your screen so we can take a look at it before we go for today? Okay, cool. So Jacob, can I make you the presenter? Jacob had a Wordle that he wasn't able to insert into his into that Google. Okay, so he's getting it ready into that Google Doc, but he still did it, and so we should honor that and give him an option to show it. Okay, so in just a second, we'll see Jacob's screen. Hopefully. So Jacob, do you see something that says, okay, he's pulling it up, I guess. All right. All right, so we're having fun with our webcams. Okay. So this is what I would be doing if I were you and I was waiting for Jacob to pull up his Wordle. I would be finishing up assignment number 1 if you are one of those students who was not able to type onto your sequence chart. And then I would maybe start even looking at assignment 2. So Jacob, are you ready yet? It says Java update. Okay, so he needs to update his Java as well. So we will, Jacob, if you want to share that next week, we'll let you, okay? And hold on, Nicholas, let me turn your microphone on. Go ahead, Nicholas.
So how do we get to this folklore site?
That is a good question. So let me just show you how to get to your site. I have shared it with you in your email like 5,000 times. So you probably have an email from me that says something and you can click on it and go right to it. However, it's also, look at the top of your email page. You see something called sites?
Yeah, we've used that before for the e-portfolios.
Yeah, exactly. So you click on sites. And you have you've been given access to this site. So you're looking at mine right now, and I have a ton, but you won't have quite as many, but you are going to have this one, folklore, okay? So that's where you click on it,
Wait,
and
I didn't see it.
it takes you right to it.
I didn't see the folklore site that you just clicked on.
Okay, let's just double check, Nicholas. Have I shared it with Nicholas? Let's see. Why aren't you on here? Well, let's do it again right now.
No, I mean I didn't see that when you clicked on the folklore site. I didn't see exactly where you clicked. I just saw other things. I
Okay.
didn't see where you clicked to get to it though.
All right, Nicholas, check your email right now. I just shared it with you again. You should be able to open it directly. Um, so that shouldn't be a problem for you. If you are good to go on assignment number 2, like you know what you're going to do, you are welcome to leave for today. So just type a bye into the chat, and I will see you Thursday at Cantrell for your DRA and MAP testing, and I will see some of you, most of you, Wednesday for your interview. Okay? All right. Very cool. Josh, you're a little late, buddy. Bye, Jordan. Bye, Autumn. Bye, Jacob. See you Wednesday. All right. Hey, Josh, your VC started at 8:30, so you might want to come to the next VC and we can have you present your work then, okay? So the next one starts at 9:30. It's actually 6th grade, but you can join us then. All right, Lucas, are you good to go?
Mhm.
Okay, then I'll see you. I will not see you, Lucas, on Wednesday because you're not interviewing, but I will see you Thursday. So, bye, Jacob. Bye, Josh. It looks like Nicholas is left as well, so he
Okay,
must
bye.
have found it. So, okay.